My name is Jude Prather, named after my grandfather, Jude Prather, who served in World War II. I came from a family of military service. There's moments in your life that define the rest of your life. For me, that was the tragic events that happened on 9/11. That was the day that I knew I would have to serve my country. I remember an immense sense of guilt that there was those that were serving over there that were away from their families, away from their homes, and here I was enjoying all the things that American life provides. So I dropped out of college my junior year and decided to enlist in the United States Army as a combat infantryman. Ended up doing the National Call to Service enlistment, which at the time was one of the shortest enlistments the United States Army had. My goal was I wanted to serve our country. I wanted to serve in Iraq. And I ended up serving with the 4th Infantry Division, the 122nd Infantry Battalion. Unfortunately, during my short enlistment, I was in during a window when the 4th Infantry Division was coming home from Iraq, and I served with them while they were retooling and re-equipping for their next deployment. I was honorably discharged from the Army in 2005, came back home and was rather disappointed. I wanted to serve our nation at war, and was just felt a sense of that I didn't accomplish the mission, that I didn't serve our nation. In 2008, my then girlfriend, now wife, she found a package from UPS on the doorstep, and it was a thick package from the United States Army, about this thick. And she came in the house and she had tears in her eyes because she knew this couldn't be good. And I opened up the package from the Army, and it had orders stamped up across it and said, "You've been involuntarily reactivated for Operation Iraqi Freedom." I served with the 100th Battalion, 44nd Infantry Regiment, the go-for-broke soldiers of World War II. Now the Pacific Island Territories Reserve Infantry Battalion, Guam, Samoa, Tinian, Saipan, and the Commonwealth of the Northern Marianas Islands. My company, Bravo Company, was from Samoa. To serve with the Islanders was a unique experience in itself. I knew nothing of the island culture, but the Samoans are some of the greatest people you could ever meet. Family, religion, and service to our country are foundations of Samoan culture. They took us in as brothers. We were tasked with doing convoy escorts. We escorted KBR trucks, main supply route Tampa, which was the main road that went from the Kuwaiti port all the way up to Mosul, that nearly all of our bases were located off of. I would describe it as I-35 of Kuwait and Iraq. Our job was to escort these trucks, these convoy supplies, from one forward operation base or FOB to another. I was tasked with being the Humvee gunner. Our Humvee was the command Humvee for the convoy teams. Basically, I got to be the eyes and the ears of the convoys. Our job was to make sure that the routes are clear from IEDs, to make sure that there was no insurgent activity along these routes. A part of war is sometimes you lose people, and it seems like the people that always end up dying are the people that are some of the best and the brightest and the people you're closest with. One of our friends, a fellow recalled soldier by the name of Casey Hills, it was his last mission that he volunteered to go on. I can remember that night, us sitting around sharing a cigarette and a smoke and talking about what his plans were when he got back home. Later, we hear over the convoy net that there had been a rollover in a KIA. When we got back to Kuwait, we waited for their convoy team to arrive later that morning, and I can remember knowing that they had 4 Humvees leave, but only seeing 3 Humvees arrive back. Not a word was spoken. And as you start to look around and try to see who's missing, it came quick that it was Casey Hills that was missing. The convoy team and us, we just stood around and we smoked a cigarette, looked at each other in these eyes, and I could just sense their sadness. They were tired. It was their worst mission. Casey Hills, it was his last mission. In war, people die. You lose friends. You try to remember them. You try to honor them. And this is something that's really important now. I've been home 5 years. And I always try to think, how do we honor the service of those that didn't make it home? The best way we can honor our brothers and sisters who didn't make it home is to live the most productive and successful lives here. I really enjoyed my job in Iraq. There was a sense of accomplishment. The men that I served with had great admiration. We were like brothers. There's no other way I can describe it. The bond between those you serve with in war is that as strong as blood. We watched each other's back. We had each other's back. We knew that each one of us were fundamentally important to that mission, and that provided that sense of camaraderie, a sense of mission, a sense of purpose. When you come back home and you're not with your brothers and sisters, a lot of that sense of purpose and camaraderie is gone and broken. And a lot of veterans, a lot of our brothers and sisters, they're constantly searching for that sense of purpose. And that's probably the biggest void there is from serving in a war to being back home.